Let me break this down for you. Solitude isn't something to be afraid of. It's a damn power move. You want to be attractive. You want people to notice you in a way that makes them think, wow, there's something different about them. Then learn to love being alone. I'm not talking about loneliness or feeling sorry for yourself. I'm talking about real solitude, where you don't need anyone else to feel complete, because you know who the hell you are. Here's the deal. People who can handle solitude, they're on a whole different level. They're not out there begging for attention, validation, or someone to tell them they're good enough. They don't need to constantly be surrounded by noise, by people, by approval, because they've already found that within themselves. And you know what? That makes them insanely attractive. There's something magnetic about someone who's comfortable in their own skin, someone who doesn't need to be chasing after every trend, every crowd, every relationship, just to feel like they matter. They've got their own back, and that kind of confidence, it's rare as hell. You want to know why solitude makes you attractive? Because it shows you're not desperate. You're not clinging to people just to fill some void. You're not needy. Needy is weak. Needy is unattractive. But someone who's good on their own, that's strength. That's confident. That's self-respect. And people are drawn to that, whether they realize it or not. It's like an energy, this quiet confidence that says, I don't need you to complete me. I'm already complete. That makes you stand out. That makes you different. Think about it. People who can't stand to be alone, they jump from one situation to another, looking for someone to fix them, to validate them. They're constantly chasing something outside of themselves because they haven't figured out how to sit with themselves. And that's not attractive. That's a mess. People can sense it, even if they don't say it. But when you're good with solitude, you're not looking for someone to save you. You don't need someone to complete you. You're whole. And when you're whole, you attract better energy, better people, better everything. Here's the kicker. Solitude also gives you time to focus on you. You want to know how people level up? It's when they cut out the noise, when they step away from distractions, and start putting in the work on themselves. Solitude gives you that space to grow, to reflect, get better in every damn area of your life. When you're not constantly surrounded by other people's opinions, needs, and expectations, you start hearing your own voice clearer. You start figuring out what you actually want, what drives you, what makes you tick. And that clarity, that's powerful. It shapes you into someone who knows exactly who they are and what they're about, and that's magnetic. Now let's talk about independence. People who embrace solitude aren't relying on someone else to give them direction, purpose, or happiness. They create that for themselves. They're self-sufficient, and let me tell you, independence is sexy as hell. You're not someone who's lost without other people. You can handle your own life. You're in control. You've got your own goals, your own passions, your own ambitions. And that's attractive because people want to be around someone who's got their act together, someone who doesn't crumble the moment they're left alone. When you're comfortable with solitude, you radiate a sense of calm, of assurance, of knowing who you are. That doesn't mean you don't want connections with other people. It just means you don't depend on them to define your worth. You're solid on your own. And that makes you so much more attractive because you're not coming from a place of neediness. You're not putting pressure on other people to fill some emptiness inside you. You're good, really good on your own, and that's a game changer. Here's another thing. When you've spent time alone, really alone, you start to value yourself more. You're not going to settle for just anyone because you've already built a life you enjoy. You're selective. You're not desperate for attention, so you're not lowering your standards just to feel loved or accepted. You know your worth, and people can sense that. They see it in the way you carry yourself, in the way you interact with others. You're not playing games. You're not begging for scraps of attention. You've got a standard, and that's attractive as hell. People are drawn to that self-respect, confidence. Solitude also teaches you to be resilient. You've been through stuff, you've faced your own thoughts, your own struggles, and you came out stronger. That strength shows in everything you do. You're not fragile. You're not easily swayed by the opinions of others. And that makes you even more attractive. People want to be around someone who can stand on their own, who doesn't crack under pressure, who's got that quiet, unshakable strength, only comes from knowing yourself. So yeah, solitude makes you attractive, it makes you magnetic, it makes you confident, it makes you independent. It shapes you into someone who's not just surviving, but thriving on their own terms. And that's something people notice. When you don't need anyone else to define you, when you're comfortable in your own company, that's when you truly become irresistible. So embrace solitude, own it, and watch how it transforms you into someone who people can't help but be drawn to. Stop running from it. Solitude isn't loneliness, power, clarity, strength. And when you start seeing it that way, everything changes. You change. And trust me, that's when people will start seeing you in a whole new light.